Hi, this is Stan Phelps from Marketing and welcome to episode 5 of the Purple Goldfish video podcast. Today we're going to talk about lagniappe and the idea of, is it a magic bullet? We're going to take a trip out to Fat Cat Pizza Pie Company here in Norwalk, Connecticut. And lastly, we're going to get a guided tour of what it takes to make maple syrup from Hedgehog Hill Maple Syrup Company in Belmont, Vermont. Today's podcast is sponsored by Synergy Events, an award-winning experiential marketing agency. Enjoy the podcast.
Welcome back. We're here for another edition of the Purple Goldfish webcast. I'm Jack. This is Stan.
Hey there.
And today we're going to talk about this whole idea of marketing lagniappe. And, to put it bluntly, is this a magic bullet that you can use to just take any business and by giving away an extra bagel or
right. Throwing a little something
extra, is that magically going to make people if you give them a candy bar after they say after a sale, is that going to do it?
No, I don't think that it's a substitute at all. I mean, I think the baseline is if you're running a business, you have to have a solid product or service, and no matter what little extra you throw in, you can't put lipstick on a pig. Right? Insert your favorite euphemism in here,
If it looks like crap and it smells like crap,
it's crap, right?
So unless you're selling fertilizer, it ain't gonna sell.
Right. My personal favorite, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken. So no, the idea is, I think that, at the base level, you have to get your product or service right. So there's no substitute for that, and nothing you're going to give as extra is going to make any difference if you can't get your core correct.
So if you have a hamburger joint and you don't have good hamburgers,
you're in trouble.
So step one is you've got to get that baseline of, we've got great burgers, and that's going to generate word of mouth in itself.
Right.
Restaurants is an easy place to talk about this, so we'll stick with that. So they got good pizza, they got good hamburgers, you might go there. But now that you've got that baseline,
right, that's the starting point, exactly.
And then once you know where that line is, then I guess if you're going to go above and beyond, you have to have a spot that's considered the top so that you can go above it.
Correct. So the idea is that, to your point, if the goal is to have a really good burger, then there's probably another dozen places that have a good burger. I mean, it's not that, it's not overcomplicated. It's not that hard to get a burger right? So what you have to do is, if things are becoming more and more commodities, how do you do things to differentiate yourself? So what is the little additional thing that you offer at your burger place that makes you different than your competitor?
And at this point, you should be thinking, you at home, about those places that you love. And what is it about that place, whether it's your barber shop, the burger place, your auto mechanic, who are the people that are going that little extra mile for you that you're like, oh, I love the way that person does that.
Right.
And that's exactly, you can put that into any business if you put your mind to it.
Right.
Okay, any other thoughts on that?
No.
Then I think that's a podcast, my friends. And today we're here at the Fat Cat Pizza Company in Norwalk, Connecticut. Now this place is one of the best pizza places in Fairfield County. It's got great pie and it's got a great bar, including a really good wine selection. Now one of the things we were talking about is how lagniappe is going above and beyond. And one of the things that makes this place good is that it's a great place anyway. It's got quality products and it's got a following already. But what's that little bit extra? What's its lagniappe is the spices that come with the pizza. So you've got your beautiful thin crust pizza, and you've got Penzi Spices, which is a spice company that just carries all kinds of great spices. And when you come to Fat Cat, you get a whole box of spices with some familiar things like black pepper, crushed red pepper, oregano, but then Turkish, chipotle, a classic, hot curry on pizza. It's phenomenal. So when people are talking about the Fat Cat, yeah, it's great pizza, but you end up Alpo pepper. I'm probably mispronouncing that. You end up trying all different kinds of spices on here, and then you go home, and what do? You tell your friends about this great pizza you had and all these cool spices, and it's bringing flavors that you ordinarily wouldn't have on a pizza. So, Fat Cat, great job, great lagniappe.
First of all, Stan, I'm really happy you're here so I can spend a few minutes explaining to the multitudes how this actual process works. This is an actual living maple tree.
Right.
And this is what produces our sap. A lot of people, why doesn't it run in different times of the year? Because the sap is coming up this tree to get to the buds. And when it provides enough sugar for the buds, then the leaves will open. You see? That's the whole show. And God decides when to run, it runs. When the buds come out, it stops. And that's the whole show. What we do is we steal about maybe 1%. We drill a hole in about 2 inches. We connect it with this beautiful plastic tube. And then we connect the plastic tubes with more plastic tubes until they're very large, big, huge black plastic tubes, and it goes into the sugar house.
Right.
And that's the money machine. But up here is where it all comes in. I told you about the vacuum pump. These are the vacuum pipes that come inside here, sucked in, and they're brought into this holding tank and then released into the big tank below. So we've got yesterday, because everything ran beautifully, we got 2,000 gallons of sap. We have a reverse osmosis machine that takes 80% of the water out of that sap. And here we have the RO machine, the World War II surplus equipment. This was on the beaches of Normandy. We're very excited because it takes 80% of the water out of the sap. We store that very, very sweet sap up there. 80% of the water is now gone. It goes into this holding tank where we fire up the boiler and it gets started. Well, you can take a picture maybe later, but it's just, you want to hit this moment right here, all right? Stand really close to this, okay? Ready? Whoa! Whoa! We melted in machine. That was pretty good. It's evaporated like a cloud in here.
Right.
And it's into our pan, and it travels in a kind of an S-like curve, gets to the other side, drops out. We've got beautiful syrup, and then finally it goes through this filter machine where we have it purified, make our final determination on exactly what color that syrup is, and we either make it a medium dark amber, we make it a medium, we make it a fancy grade, or anything else. And that's the whole show.
That's the whole show.